and I told about the train ride, and most of you have heard my story about the train ride. Anybody has not heard the story of the train ride, would you raise your hand if you've not heard it? Okay, there's a couple, so I'm going to tell it, okay? Because there's a couple that hasn't heard it. Okay, for those of you that heard it, you can just go back to sleep. But this was a long time ago. I was a young man, probably about 17 years old, and I had, at that time, I didn't have a car. It might have been 16 or whatever, but I didn't have a car. And I went to the movies, and then I hung out with my friends like we used to do at the Paintsville Plaza over there. And it got really late, and I decided I wanted to go to my sister's, who lived in West Van Leer, which was only about 4 miles out of town. But it was so late. At that time, I would often just catch a ride or hitchhike. You know, I don't see that much anymore, but it was too late to hitchhike. So I had a brilliant idea. I said, I'll go down to the train depot because the railroad goes right by her house. And I will hop on a train as it comes by, and I'll just jump off when I get there. And so I go down and waited for a while, and it took a while, but finally there was a train coming. It was real slow. I jumped on that train. And by the way, it's not a passenger train, it's a coal train, and there's a ladder. Don't try this at home, kids. Anyway, I was holding onto the ladder, and it was empty, the train was, and it started picking up speed as we're leaving Paintsville. And I didn't know trains could go that fast, but it felt like it was going 90 miles an hour, and I'm holding onto this ladder. And so here we are, and we just passed West Van Leer in a blur. There was no way I was getting off at West Van Leer. It went on through Paintsville, and even into Floyd County. I remember going for a while, I didn't know where I was, on the other end of Floyd County, before it ever slowed down enough for me to jump off. And so finally in Floyd County, I jumped off the train and had to walk back and then finally find a hitchhike home. And it was like the next morning before I got home. It was a long, long night. And it was a tough time in my life. But when I think about that story, and I tell that sometimes as an example of how in life, you know, there's all kinds of things the devil will throw our way. And he will say to us, it's okay, you know, you can have fun for a little while and then just get off when you want. But remember what I said, sin will take you further than you want to go, keep you longer than you want to stay, and cost you more than you want to pay.